So, where does it all go wrong for Oedipus? Well, as we, you know, listen and find out more, we realize, of course, it all has already gone wrong for Oedipus. It's been wrong for Oedipus since the beginning. I mean, that's the doom, the sense of doom, the horror, the the horror that comes with truth. And I'm thinking of his encounter with this amazing character of Tiresias, the blind seer, the holy man, really. Tiresias is an old man, he's blind. He's being led by a boy in to meet with Oedipus because they're calling upon him. Right? Oedipus has found out through the oracle of Apollo, that the reason that the city of Thebes is under this this curse that's caused this plague is that their former leader, their former king, Laios, was murdered years ago, and his murderers are never brought to justice, and the gods consider that an abomination and are punishing Thebes because the dead man has never been avenged. And that's what Creon, Oedipus's brother-in-law, and more, as we find out, more than his brother-in-law, part of the horror that's gradually dawning. Creon has gone to the oracle and found out this stuff out, and now they're trying to clarify this more by calling upon Tiresias. They can't demand of the god Apollo through his oracle that he be more explicit, but they can ask for clarification from other holy sources, and that would be Tiresias. Where does it all start to turn for Oedipus? I mean, Oedipus it's almost as if he's glorying in his leadership and his power, that he feels so confident that he can save the city because he saved it before when it was under a curse. That's the whole story of the Sphinx, that he solved the riddle of the Sphinx, which made him a big hero, and they made him king, basically. And he, since their own king had died recently, mysteriously been murdered, he was able to marry the wife of the king, the widow of the king, and become the leader. So he's so confident, and he's so heroic and enjoying his role, I think. And where does it all start to turn? After all, this is a tragedy, right? He calls Tiresias in a very theatrical way, and well, what can you do for us, Tiresias? This is page 374, and Tiresias says, and what worse task than to be wise and suffer for it? I know this well. It slipped out of mind, or I would never have come. Basically, Tiresias says, let me go home. I don't want to talk. Don't make me say this stuff, I mean, you want clarification? I don't want to give it to you because it won't do you any good or me any good. And Oedipus is shocked, And the truth starts to come out. I mean, it starts to dawn, Tiresias tells him, that you are the reason for all this. You're the reason. You're what you're looking for, And Oedipus is understandably angered and shocked that how could the great Oedipus, who's going to be the savior of Thebes, be Thebes's downfall, the reason for the curse? And this is where the horror and the doom, the downfall of Oedipus really begins. As he says on page 376, Tiresias says to Oedipus, you are your own enemy, because Oedipus starts to think that people are plotting against him, that somehow Creon, his brother-in-law, and Tiresias are somehow in some kind of conspiracy to bring him down. And Tiresias says, no, I mean, we're not your enemy. You're your enemy. We haven't done this to you. You've done this to yourself. You've done this to Thebes, and you've done this to yourself. And Oedipus has no idea what he's talking about. But this encounter with Tiresias is quite amazing, I think, and really, this is really the turning point. Everything now will certainly be downhill for Oedipus.